What's up, everybody? Marshall7. Triple Marshall. Today I'm gonna make my 2023 way too early silly season predictions. So usually I do this a lot later in the year, like in September. But this year I want to do a lot earlier, just so it's like more of guessing to this point. And I got some interesting ones on here, so stay tuned. All right. So first one, Ross Chastain's gonna say at Trackhouse is Lily elevating that team, making it Lily look like Hendrick out there. Cindric's gonna stay at Penske until Tim Cindric leaves as president. Austin Dillon's staying at RCR probably for the rest of his career, which unless something like Teresa or Hardale or happen, John Jr. happens, or like RCR shuts down. I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Kevin Harvick will stay at Stewart Haas Racing. I think it'll be his last year in at least full time. At least in SHR, I think maybe probably his last time in full time equipment, and he's probably gonna retire from full time racing after next year. Kyle Larson staying in the 5. I think he's good for another couple years anyway, because that man's literally crazy. Is crazy good. Brad Keselowski staying at ROK. I think they're gonna elevate that team, like on the track and not just Twitter. I think Corey LaJoie's gonna resign with Spire. I think he does have a 3rd-year option, so I think Spire's going to take that. So I think LaJoie could elevate the team. I do have something interesting I'm going to know about Spire in a little bit. Tyler Reddick's 78 for SCR. Now this one is, I think like he'll do good. I think he's going to make RCR look great again. Just like he's having terrible luck. Chase Elliott in the 9. Dude, the guy's gonna stay there for the rest of his career, probably. If you ask me. Unless something happens. Now, number 10, this one's where it gets real interesting. Now, I made a video about this yesterday, about 3 potential replacements. I noted Ryan Preece, Riley Herbst, and Kyle Busch. This one's an interesting one. For a guy I think who's gonna replace him, I think it's Kyle Busch. Yes, I think it's Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch is gonna go to Stewart Haas Racing next year. Call me crazy, but I don't. Yeah, I think either way, if he gets a brand deal or not, I think it's gonna. It's not all about like the brand, like the brand deal. That's why I just don't think that like he wants to. I don't know if JGR is his fitting place anymore. He's been there for the last pretty much my whole life, to be honest with you. Like he's only been there since 2008. I was born November 17th, 2007. So I was alive for one race. The Kyle Busch wasn't at JGR for. And technically, I was around for 2 races that Kyle was in 2018 for. The 75 in the All-Star race in 2016, obviously the 5. Yeah. But I think Kyle Busch going to SHR. Mobile, and I think this means that KDM's going to switch to Ford. And they're going to have like TGR Alliance and things. They're going to elevate that. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it'd be cool. And I just think Kyle Busch's tenure at Joe Gibbs is going to be over. Man, 15 seasons, that's a lot. Something like that. Yeah. So Kyle Busch. I just think Joe Gibbs can't pay him enough anymore. So I think Kyle's gonna go to SHR. Yes, I know he has beef with previous beef with Kevin Harvick, but I think that's pretty much over with now. Then take a look at Christian Eckes and Ben Rhodes. Christian Eckes really did that to Ben Rhodes. Lily became teammates the very next season. Well, sort of. Now they're full-time teammates. I actually saw that race in person. It was crazy. That was the same day like as the first day of the AAA Texas. The Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 500 at Texas. That was crazy. Yeah, I remember like it was super hard to go to a truck race because like they didn't let fans in a truck race, even though they let in like or Indian, even though they let in Cup it. And even though like almost it's on the same day. I don't know why they did that for a lot of tracks. Yeah, I don't even know. But I guess just like reduce exposure or something. I don't even know. We're done with that stuff now anyway. Knock on wood. Just in case. Then he wants to say in 11. I think it's gonna be. I think Hamlin's gonna stay there until he retires, and I think he will race part-time for 2011 after he gets away from full-time racing. Ryan Blaney will be in a 12. I think he's gonna get really good in that 12. He already won the All-Star race. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, I think Colleague buys another charter, and I think this charter is going to come from so the guys that have selling charters are is JTG. I think they're going to fold after this year, like 2022, because they've been looking away at the Cup Series for years now, honestly. And I think yeah. So I'm going to talk about Stenhouse a little bit. It's me a very, very, very a bold one, but a lot of people aren't going to agree with me. It's just what I think. I think they're gonna. I think Cog's gonna get another charter. They're probably gonna get it from, I would guess, from Spire, because they've already gotten charters from there anyway. That's what started the team. So I think Spire's willing to really get them another charter. Yeah, I think they sell the 77, because that 77 really doesn't do much. And then, yes, I know it's the only car that's won in the Cup Series, but that was very lucky with Justin Haley. And Haley's already with Cog. Yeah. Yeah. And I think JTG is going to sell its charter to a team I am going to talk about in a little bit. I think it's going to be interesting. I actually think, yeah. So I will tell you in a little bit who I think JTG is going to sell their charter to. Yeah. But I think Cog's going to go to 3 teams. I think they're going to have one of the cars do that 13 car. Maybe make the 13. Now, I was debating between 2 different drivers who would take this. I think it would be a full-time driver. But honestly, he was probably going to go to, he almost went to the full-time car this year, but no, not this year. I think AJ Omnier is going to drive the 13 for Cog Racing. Hold on. Yeah, I think AJ Omnier, he has sponsorship from like Action, Andy's Frozen Custard, like Action Industries for Andy's Frozen Custard, Nutrient Ag Solutions, etc. Maybe even get some new ones. Maybe even the JTG sponsors will come back to him and reunite. Maybe Kroger will come from this. I doubt it. I doubt that a little bit, honestly. I think they're gonna go with Stenhouse whenever he's gonna go to this route. We talk about it a little bit. Oh my God, who's calling me? Yeah, I think Omnier is gonna actually do decent in this route. I think he's gonna be his late career resurgence. He's 40, but I mean, like, he can race for another couple years, honestly. Let's be honest. I mean, yeah, I think Omnier is ready for Cup again. In the 14, I got Chase Briscoe. I think he's gonna get even better with SHR. He won at Phoenix earlier this year. I saw in person too. Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, like, I think Briscoe's probably stay for a while. I don't know if that's. I don't think it's. I mean, it might be where he stays for the rest of the year. Who knows? It depends. I'm not gonna bet on it, but like, I wouldn't rule it out. So I think Briscoe's gonna do that. Okay, in the 15, I have an interesting one. This is a Rick Ware car. I think Ryan Preece is gonna run full time for this car. Basically, but before, I think this is gonna be the ride before he replaces Kevin Harvick. Because Ryan Preece, he's been the best driver with Rick Ware so far. Like, no, of all of them, I think Ryan Preece is the best driver for them. I think he's gonna go full time for that just for 1 year, because I think Rick Ware could probably use that anyway. And then I think he's gonna go. He's gonna go to for replace Harvick in 2024. Ryan Preece, wow, he makes Rick Ware cars look like they're like freaking. He makes Rick Ware cars run like mid pack, which is, and they usually run at the very back. He puts them in the top 20. I mean, Ryan Preece is a good driver. He just wasn't good at JTG. I mean, that's not really much of his fault. JTG isn't the greatest team anyway. Yeah. But Priest won in his very first truck start ever, and he's been good in Xfinity. Yeah, I think Priest has a very good shot at being a very good driver. So yeah. So in the 16, this is an interesting one. So Allmendinger. So I was actually debating between Allmendinger and Hemrick to drive the 13. Because Hemrick's actually done. He's actually done pretty good in that car. Well, at least he's been underratedly impressive. Like, I know that's a weird way to put it, but like, he literally came back from a 6 lap down deficit at Auto Club. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I think driving that, it'll be him. Like, the 16 will be him, Austin Hill, Josh Berry, and Landon Castle. And this is an interesting one. I think they're going to bring back the rotating drivers. Let's see. So sorry, I'm a little distracted. Austin Hill races are RCR anyways, and they're like Austin Hill. I mean, Colleague's already in an alliance with Austin Hill, run the same motor as them, ECR. That's the engine. I think he's gonna take that car for a little bit. I think he'll take it for some Super Speedways too. Josh Berry, I mean, yes, he's Dale Jr. driver. I actually have son on Dale Jr. a little bit, but you probably figure out what it is now. But Josh Berry, I mean, I think he could run some. He'll be like Noah Gregson car, so I think he'll do good. I was actually debating also with Gregson taking the 13, but I do have a ride for him. Trust me. Yeah, and Daniel Hemrick, he's still going to do the same thing. I think he'll be good. And Atlanta Castle, since the Spire ride shut down, he's going to join them, which is probably better anyway. And Chris Buescher will be in the 17 RFK. I think he'll get eventually better. Now, 18, this is where it gets interesting. I know what Joe Gibbs said, but I think there's really no option but to do it. I think Ty Gibbs goes to the 18 next year. I know. He's getting might be a little rushed, but like Gibbs is amazing. Honestly, well, he's not like sometimes he can't handle things the right way. He's a great race car driver. I think he's gonna be good. I think might take a little bit to start. I think he'll do good though. Very good. Yeah, I think he'll be the next 18 driver to get really good. Maybe even better than Kyle Busch. That's a little hard to beat though. Then number 19. This is a very, very, very bold one. I think Truex retires at the end of the year. He has not done good, I think, in the last couple of years. I mean, he hasn't been like the same since like 2017, 18. I mean, he hasn't been bad, just hasn't been the greatest. I think he can be better. I think Truex is called a career. I think replacing him, call me crazy all you want. I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is to replace. Like legit, I think he's gonna bring Kroger with him to fill out sponsor void, and Reese is actually gonna cut the JGR for once. Let's go, because Reese is actually sponsoring him this weekend with the Kroger car. I think Stenhouse will do. I think Stenhouse deserves a good ride. I think he will get one. I think he is an underrated driver. Call him Wrecky all you want, but he's good. He's gotten better with that. Anyways, yeah. 20, I got Christopher Bell. I think it's gonna get better over the years. 21, Harrison Burton. Really nothing to say on this. He's going to have to develop because he's terrible in that car right now. Not saying he's a bad driver, just he was not ready for Cup. Actually moving to a different manufacturer. Actually, I like the same thing we saw at Haley Deegan. Switch from Toyota to Ford, that wasn't the greatest transition. But I got your other guy in 22. I think we'll stay there for another decade, I'd say. I think we'll retire in that car, honestly. Who knows? I want to rule out him going to another ride. Not now though. Bubba Wallace, I think we'll say to 23. I think will become a really good driver. Like for Bubba, I think once 23 develops. William Byron will stay with Hendrick. He's be really good, honestly. No, I think Team Hasbrook's going to return next year. Part time. I'm going to get Loris Hesemans, Jack Villeneuve in the car again. I think to run more races. I think Josh Rayom's also going to run some races. Because technically, Josh Rayom is helping this team. It's powered by Rayom Bros Racing. That's what Josh Rayom's team. So I think Rayom's going to dip his feet and cut for once. For once. And for all. Yeah. Justin Haley's going to stay at the 31. I think he'll get a lot better. I'm going to get down to 34. He's probably been their best driver. I'd even say he's arguably the best driver front rows ever had. He literally won the 500. What do you expect? And he's been good at other tracks. Honestly, this season hasn't been the greatest, but like he was actually very good last year. For that car, at least. Todd Gilliland's in the 38. I just don't really see any other option, to be honest with you. I mean, Gilliland, not Cup ready, but like, I really don't see another option. Plus, it's cool to see Gilliland in the car, honestly. 41, Cole Custer. I think I'm going to give him one more year to try to get better. He's been really bad in that car. Besides the Kentucky one, he's been in Indianapolis in 2020. He's been terrible. He's been trash in that car. He looked Cup ready, but I guess he wasn't. Not trying to discount anything. I think Cole Custer is talented. Like you saw what he did at Auto Club. Cup has not been his strength. And Riley Herbst could come and replace him. Which would be ironic because Monster will be back on the 41 after Kurt Busch had it. Title him in the 42. I think he's gonna get better. He showed flashes of brilliance at Bristol Dirt. I think he'll get better. He's shown flashes of brilliance in the past. Yeah. Also, I think Eric Jones is saying the 43. I think he's gonna get a lot. I think he's gonna make that 43 car actually good again. Probably not Richard Petty level, but like top 15, I'd say. I mean, top 10, honestly. I think the next gen car helped him too. Yeah, I think Jones has talent. Just RPM just needs some time. Well, now Petty GMS, but I think GMS. They need a GMS merger help. Who knows? 44. I don't think the NY Racing team was going to return next year. Sorry, just they have not been good. they've been terrible with Greg Biffle of all people, who literally was on NASCAR for years and won Texas in a truck. So yeah, Kurt Busch. Not saying it's Biffle's fault though. Kurt Busch will be in the 45 again. He still got. I don't think he's going to leave after this year. I think he's in Salis for 2 or 3 years in that car and didn't retire. He's been through a lot of rides in his career. Alex Bum's in the 48. He's going to get really good. Now, Kaz Growl's 50 car. Well, it's Floyd Matt Brothers. Oh my God. There you go. I don't think Kaz Growl's be on the money team. I think it's going to get a full-time Xfinity ride. I'll talk about that a little bit. I think he's going to focus on that mainly. I think for money team, I think they're going to return. I think Ryan Newman's going to draft part-time. Ryan Newman kind of like very had an anticlimactic way of retiring from NASCAR. I think Floyd Mayweather's going to give him a part-time ride. So yeah. Cody Ward at 51. I don't know what to say about him, honestly. I think the MBM part-time car will be the 61, the second, at least their other one. I think the 66 will try. I'll get that out a little bit. I think JJ Elliott and Chad Fincham will be in the car. Splitting it. 62 for Beer Motorsports. Rex, I'm going to talk about a little bit. I don't think it's going to be in that car. I think it's going to be full-time. Well, not Beer Motorsports, but Will Gregson. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I think Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to be the 62. I think he's going to join our RCR in the 3-car for a full-time ride next year. I'm not saying Larry McElbee's crew chief or anything. That'd be cool, but really cool. But I'm not sure I don't know. Maybe, who knows? RCR's going to expand to 3 cars again. Timmy Hill will be in the 66 part-time. I don't think Boris Ed returns. I think it's like one-time deals, whatever. Yeah. I think Timmy Hill go part-time again. So hopefully, actually makes the 500. That's for sure. BJ McLeod, Riley Hurst will split to 78. I think Herbst's going to dip his feet in cut for once. Team Stange Racing in the 79. You may be wondering who. It's a team that was announced a couple of months ago. They haven't ran yet. They're going to make their debut at America. They're supposed to run with a guy named Tarso Marquez, which I honestly have no clue who he is. I think he's going to come back next year part-time. They're going to get some more races in. Just to make a handful of starts, like 8 starts. He's supposed to start at a road course like Road America, Roval, I think, Charlotte Roval, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen. He's also going to go at some ovals like Vegas, Daytona, and Phoenix, actually. I'm not sure the 8th. I forgot what the 8th race was. Yeah, I think Marcos is going to make some starts. Yeah. So now this is where it gets interesting. JR Motorsports, junior fans, you'd be excited. I think they're going to come to the Cup. I think they're going to buy the JTG charter and make the 888 out of it. I think Noah Gregson does full time for the car, and I think Kaz Growl's going to place him in the Xfinity Series. There you go. I think Gregson is going to be. I think JR will probably be like 2311 or Trackhouse to start. I think they'll have flashes of brilliance. I don't think they'll be great throughout the bat, but like I think they'll be fine, I guess. But yeah, I think that's gonna happen though. So Project a couple days ago, Trackhouse announced Project 91, which is a car reserved for international. That's part time. They're running one race this year at Watkins Glen with Kimi Räikkönen, which is really cool. I think, and they said they're gonna make some more starts next year. I think that's still gonna happen. I think they're gonna get Lewis Hamilton for the 500 at least. And Kimi Räikkönen's going to come back. I think Scott Dixon's actually going to make a start, at least maybe start or two, because that Trackhouse is basically just Chip Ganassi. Is Chip Ganassi's legacy. So wouldn't surprise me Scott Dixon and Daniel Ricciardo, I think, because he had ties to NASCAR as a big Dale Earnhardt fan. So I think that's going to happen. Now, I think Dale Swartz is going to say, I think he's going to finally have a breakout season next year. Maybe even this year, who knows? Yeah. Anyways, those are my Silly Season predictions. I agree with them. You don't. Probably don't agree with the Stenhouse thing, but hey, what do you know? Maybe someone will. Who knows? Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day. And goodbye. See you on the next one. Peace.